What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Long Dark. My name is Splattercat. Very, very stoked to have you here today as we hang out for a little while. And unfortunately, not get a gun. Snares used to be overpowered, and then they changed the way the snare system works. We just picked up a snare. Now, snares basically don't really work that well. I don't use snares hardly ever, to be honest. The previous system, you would just use a snare, and it would be like for how many hours or whatever. And then you would catch something. And it made it super overpowered because you could catch like 1,000 rabbits a day. Now, the snares, you actually place them on the ground, and if a rabbit happens to walk by, it will catch it. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of rabbits around, and so, in general, what you would do when using a snare is you want to look for game trails. I don't know if people know this, but rabbits and other small game tend to use the same trails that have been hollowed out for, like, generation after generation of rabbits. In that situation, you would want to find one of those. They're usually not hard to find because rabbits move around a lot. Hold on. Gotta pick a lock. And I frequently mess this up. Come on. Oh, wow, we're going around the horn, aren't we? Well, ain't that something. Okay, so it's 50. Come on. I know you gotta... We basically have done all the numbers so far. Like, we're getting pretty close here. So it's 50, 59, 50, 59, and... Come on. Where's it at? I know it's here somewhere. There's that sweet spot. I got this safe all primed to blow. I've done the groundwork. I've put in the foreplay. This safe owes me what's inside of it. Man. That's like the worst lock you can get. Like, we had to go all the way in each direction every single time. What's in here? Valuables, an MRE, and a rifle round, and a premium winter coat. Oh, premium winter coat. Well, we picked up the down jacket already, but the premium winter coat, that's what's up. That's what's up right there. It's twice as good as the thing we already have, which means that I probably wasted some resources forcing this down ski jacket to function, but, you know. Got 2 knives, which is probably good. We got a hatchet. We got some wood right now. We're almost at the capacity for our carrying, though. So, we've got 3 hours of daylight, you know. I might just spend the night here. There's no workbench. Oh, there is a workbench. Well, then here, let's go clean this deer out here, then. And in cleaning the deer, we might find ourselves a couple of things that we can play around with. We can make ourselves a little bit more string. We can make ourselves a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. We can make bowstring. We can make ourselves fishing lines. A couple things we're still able to do over here without having to mess around too much. And there's gonna be plenty of long... What does that mean right there? Am I drowsy? Oh, I'm sleepy. Okay. Got problems right now. Let me go ahead and drink some water in the freezing cold, because obviously the best place to drink a jug of water is when you're sitting out in the freezing cold. We're almost out of water for right now, too. Got plenty of food because I brought it all with me. In the early game, I tend to do that. Got a couple kilograms of meat. We got some hide and a couple of gut units. Yeah, go for it. There we go. Leave nothing to waste, in my opinion. If you've got it there, you might as well use it. The fresh gut, going to be very, very useful later on. Gut is one of those items that I tend to find underwhelming in the early game, and I don't think about it very much until I actually need it. And then once I actually need it, I'm like, where is all the gut at? Like it becomes a giant... Yeah, please don't do that. It scared the hell out of me. I was like, zombies! Very, very sleepy zombies. They're here somewhere. And it scared me. It legitimately made me be like, oh, what is that? What sound does that denote? Sleepiness. Okay, well, that works. Let's go ahead. We'll swing back through and inside. I think we're going to spend the night here. We're going to eat some of the food that we have on us. I'll probably make a fire, boil up some more water, get that all nice and done. I'm just going to try and do prep work tonight, I think. That'll be the best way to make this all happen. Alright, so with the gut, what do I have going on right now? I should probably cook the deer meat for dinner. And so whereas I do like that meat dearly... Did we pick up another book? When did we pick up another book at? Did it... Huh. Interesting. Well, start a fire. I don't know where I picked up another book at, but apparently I picked up another book somewhere. I thought I only had one, but I guess I have 2 books. I have an 85% chance to start fires in the early game. I would highly recommend that you only use accelerants, books, and other related, like, or cedar wood or whatever, to light fires. That gives you a higher percentage chance of succeeding. And in the early game, what you really want is to level up. Nobody wants to be in the late game trying to get a fire lit before you freeze to death in 10 seconds and risking failing. By that point, you want to be at 100% fire starting chance. You want to be like Cody Lundeen in there starting fires. Cody Lundeen, I don't really like most of his survival tips and things like that, but honestly, I really actually sincerely think the guy is like a genius at starting fires. Like, for real, that guy is really, really, really good at lighting shit on fire. Like, weirdly good. Why did you give me a torch? I don't want this. Here, throw that in there. That is not helpful to me. Add some fuel. You know, I may burn all the wood right now just to get it out of my inventory. We'll cook up some venison, first and foremost. I'm not a big fan of venison, but that's because where I live, the deer taste really, really shitty. They're like city deer that live like on the edge of town, and they eat like garbage and all kinds of stuff, and so they don't taste very good. Like, I've never had good deer meat, ever. They just, like, where I live, there's no such thing. Even people that hunt deer around here are kind of like, eh. You eat it because it's venison and you shot it, but it's not very good. Some people try and lie, and they'll be like, oh, this is so delicious, and I'm like, I bet it isn't. I bet you anything right now. You're totally full of shit. Never had venison from this area that's any good. It's always awful. How close are we to dying right now? I was going to say, we probably have, like, several assorted issues. Drink that right there. It's not going to do much, but it'll get us close enough. We're going to eat the venison, which should get us pretty full up, actually. I think the venison's probably going to put us roundabouts our max. Yeah, so that'll work for right now. Who do you know that requires, like, 5 venison steaks a day in order to survive? How crazy is that? All kinds of venison steaks, just like, venison good. Give me what I desire. I was worried we were going to cut that close, but it's okay. We cut it pretty close. Technically, we didn't... Oh, shit, I just boiled more water? Oh, that's bad. Okay, well, I've got a huge supply of extra water right now if anybody wants that.
Carry much more.
There's a piece of wood on the floor right here that's probably not going to make this any better. Well, let's boil that real quick. Wait, boiling and purifying are 2 different things now? Did I say melt? I thought I said boil water. Here, just boil 1 liter for right now. Like, we don't need to boil a ton. I just need to... Maybe I did the wrong thing. I must have done the wrong thing. That's all I could figure. There. So now we got potable water. I'm going to drink this real fast. Just to get my parameters all nice and taken care of. We're pretty drained right now. I'm wondering if I can get away with another liter, because I don't want to waste the fire. Let's try it. I'm going to try. I don't know if it's going to work for me, but I'm going to try it. Okay, so that'll work for right now. I need light real quick, because I can't see where the dam right now. There we go. And so I'll probably give it like, oh, I don't know, like 4 hours of sleep. That'll be alright. I do like the ember system that they have right now where fires stay in embers for a long ass time so that you can like relight easier from the same fire. That's pretty sweet. I'd also like to see them add charcoal to the game. The ability to create charcoal would be really, really sweet. Once you have like these little tins, or really like anything that's airtight, you can make charcoal. And it's a useful thing to have around, so I would definitely recommend it. We're a little bit low on food right now. We're kind of living off the land at the moment. I think you can make reishi tea or something like that. Pretty sure. It says it's large and it's edible, but it won't let you eat it until you cook it, I think. I have never actually... Well, maybe I have. I don't know. Either way, I will more than likely... Let's go ahead and we'll go like another 6 hours. We'll rest it off, and hopefully we don't starve to death in our sleep. I do wish there was a button right here to wake up, but I get what they're trying to do with the mechanic where once you go to sleep, you don't necessarily like control when you wake back up. Like, I get it. I get what they're leaning towards. It's just kind of like one of those things. Got candy bars. Let's go ahead and eat those real fast. Candy bars. And so we'll shove those into our mouth. We don't really have a consistent way to hunt food yet. And so we're kind of eating through our food supply literally pretty rapidly. So whereas I would prefer to stay away from that for right now, it appears as though we're not really going to have much of a choice. I'm going to drink that because that'll get rid of a little bit of weight. A little bit, not a lot of it. Actions, I'll probably harvest this guy. Alright, that's looking good. We got a supply here. We got an extra ski jacket, some extra little things. I think... I mean, I'll probably just leave some of the water here. There's no reason to have like 10 gallons of water. I'm sorry, 10 liters of water here. I'll probably... Yeah, that seems good enough. That'll get rid of some of the weight too. And if we ever come back out here, it'll give us a chance. Now it's time to see if we're going to be able to duck a blizzard for the next little bit. We've got the good jacket, so even the blizzards shouldn't be... Well, I mean, it's still pretty bad. Got 10 hours of daylight left, which means we have plenty of time to just wait this out and hopefully make it to the opposite end. Still. Let's give it 2 hours. I want to save daylight, so we're going to try for 2. If that works out okay, we'll just keep an eye on things. Just keep an eye on things. I don't hear wind any longer, so we should be good, I think. I don't know. Okay, so it's no longer bean night for nature out here. It looks like we're only at -5. That is a perfectly good temperature to get ourselves back on the road again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back this way to the right. Ew, there's like a thing on my screen. I thought it was the game's pointer, but it's not the game's pointer. It's a thingy that is definitely attached to my screen. Gross. I probably sneezed it there. In all honesty, I was about to be like, how did that get there? Why are there so many spots on my screen? But no. I'm pretty sure I probably sneezed it there. I was probably eating oatmeal or something, and then being the giant barbarian that I am, the vandal that I portray myself as, I was probably midway through my breakfast, like snorting and laughing at something I saw on Reddit, and it was like all over the screen. Like, well, gotta get myself some handy wipes or some footy wipes. Doesn't really matter to me. We have no way to get rid of wolves right now, and so we really have a problem if one of them aggroes us, and so we're gonna want to be very, very careful as we work our way around the map. Beautiful day, though. Can't say that I don't love weather when it's snowy. Living in a place where you don't have snow, see, I never had any of the negative memories. Like, I always say that I wish we had snow here, and then somebody that's lived around snow when they were growing up was like, yeah, it's because you don't have to shovel the walk every single day. Well, yeah, that does sound like it sucks, but honestly, I don't know. I just love how quiet it is when it snows, how the snow falling from the sky, like, dampens sound. I don't know. There's something pleasing about a fire inside looking out the window as snow comes down. I've mentioned this before, but my dad had a friend who has a cabin in Truckee. And as a Christmas gift each year for my dad, for being one of his business associates, he would let us stay over there for a week or two. And so it would just be like us inside this cabin chilling. And it was like out in the middle of nowhere. Like it was in the forest. It was pretty sick. There's a stick over here. I'm going to take the feathers, though. Take the feathers for right now. And then I think up and over this hill, we should hit the right-hand wall of the map. We should be able to follow that all the way up that way. I'm pretty familiar with most of the map at this point. There's a stick over here. I'm going to try and pick up things as I go. There's a sapling on this side, which is really the thing that we need. I've never made the bow before, and I kind of want to make the bow. I don't know if you make arrows out of sticks or what you make them out of. It's probably like scrap metal and sticks or something. Scrap metal and sticks, which we have none of at the moment. But if we head on out to maybe the dam, we should be able to get a ton of dam scrap. We've got a green birch sapling. A freshly harvested birch sapling needs to be cured before it can be used for crafting and repair. You have to air dry it indoors for 4 days. Okay. It sounds good to me. I don't know if we'll last that long. I'm going to keep scavenging the map. If we get lucky enough, I'm going to try and hit the ranger station next. Really, really, really wish I hadn't had to use my flare, though. That's the big part that I'm a little bit shaky about right now. That flare was like our only connection to this world if a wolf decides to grab us and send us to the afterlife. We aren't really going to have a whole lot of options to get rid of him aside from just like fighting him by hand. And fighting large wolf-like creatures by hand seems like a bad plan, man. How are we doing on coldness right now? We're at -4. That's not too bad. It's manageable. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's definitely not the worst. We might be able to do the ranger station today, possibly. If we really wanted to make good use of our time, I think we could get away with it. Green maple saplings. Yep. And yep. Okay, so we got the 2 of those. I'll probably just be on the lookout for sticks or whatever along the way. I'd insert my standard fare come sail away with me joke at this point. Come sail away with me. Come sail away. Come sail away. I like to think that maybe my singing will make the wolves go away. Like they hear it, they're just like, and they just like run off. My dog used to yell whenever I would sing. Like, he thought it was a game. I don't know. Probably drove my neighbors crazy. But well. They installed a trampoline in their living room, so what do we care about neighbors? Neighbors! I'm a renter. That means that by default you don't care about your neighbors. At least that's what I've led to believe, based on the way my neighbors conduct themselves. My neighbors are all hella grumpy. Our neighbors the other night, I'm not even shitting you right now. Our neighbors, they set up a woodworking table in the hallway with a table saw and a bunch of other shit at 11 o'clock at night the other night. 11 o'clock at night, and they're in the hallway with a table saw. Just like, making hella noise. And I was like, are you brain dead? Like, really? Is there no thought process in your mind that ever thought for a moment that might be a dick move at night when people are sleeping? Little kids in the neighborhood, man. They got like school in the morning and shit. They live right next door to you. If you had introduced yourself to your neighbors like a semi-decent human being, maybe you would know that. But it's like, oh my god, really? Really? Their fire alarm needs new batteries. I can hear it through the wall beeping, and it's just been beeping for like a week now. I'm not obsessive compulsive or anything, but I think I might become a serial killer if I hear it beep 3 or 4 more times. Maybe. Just, I might lose my shit and it'd be all work and no play. Makes Jack a dull boy hacking through your front door just like, here's Johnny and shit. I don't know if I want the old man's... I guess do you have to cure this? I don't know if I have to cure this. You probably have to air dry it or something. Although, old man's beard, in my experience, does that grow in the snow? I've seen old man's beard in the swamp before, but does it grow in snow? I assume it must, because the developers are pretty astute about, like, looking up and, like, vetting all of the things that they implement in the game. So I assume that it must grow in the snow. I'm just never around snow, so how would I know? Grab a couple more sticks, because I know we're going to make a fire tonight. There we go. Cold is looking okay. I still think we should probably get moving. If I maintain my orientation, I think we're going the right way. I think old man's beard, if you cross it with cloth or something like that, it lets you make band-aids or something. Which, while it doesn't seem like they're that useful right now, it actually is super useful. Because if we don't end up getting a gun, we're going to have to face tank all of the wolves that we fight throughout the course of our playthrough. Which is going to be super special, headbutting wolves to death for the next 30 episodes. But, you know, you do what you got to do. We can make a bow already if we cure some of this birch. So it'll probably be okay. Maybe. Oh, there's a bear. That's unfortunate. For us, I mean for the bear. This is probably a fairly decent acquisition for him. There's the ranger station up there. So if we can make it to that, off this way there's a bunker that sometimes spawns. I've never found it. I have 60 hours of gameplay, never found a bunker. Looked it up on maps and everything, and every time I go to a bunker... Oh, this is such a terrible idea. I don't think the bear bothers you, though. You know what? The bear can have that thing. I don't want the hunting station anyways. I'm not even a hunter. He might see me by the hunting station and be like, hey, you're that asshole that cracked shots past me the last 2 weeks. You're dead. You are dead, human. You are dead, snow monkey. And he's just going to come after me, and it's going to be all over. Oh, good. The guy with the weed whacker and the air blower's back. What a day. What a day to be me. The bear doesn't seem to bother anything else, though. I love Wednesdays. Have I ever mentioned how much I love... Please don't break your ankle falling 6 inches off that rock. It's happened to me so many times now, where it's like you fall off the rock, and it's like, pop, crack, and you're just like, shit! Alright, well, I may have to pause the game for a minute and wait for this guy to bypass, as though he's a hungry orc hunting my stealthily rogue self. Still, oh, there's a house over there. Well, let's go to the house. That sounds good. I wonder if I can acquire any house music over here. I actually don't like electronic music that much. I know it's really, really popular in Europe, but in the United States, techno is just not a thing that people listen to, really. Like, I'm not even trying to be a dick right now. I'm not trying to be like it's bad, therefore nobody listens to it. It's just techno's not very popular in the United States. Like, there's a rave scene here that's definitely into it. But I don't think I can think of anybody when I was in high school or growing up that was into techno. Everybody was into metal or rap or whatever else. Some people were a little bit more eclectic in their taste, and they like old jazz and old blues and things like that, but I can't think of anybody that listened to techno when I was growing. Man, there's a lot of dead guys over here. So your response, who came first? One of you had to be here first, unless you both simultaneously died and were like, I'm going to die over here. All right, Chad, I'm going to die over here. Like, somebody... So you walked past the dead guy over here. You saw him from the distance and were like, you know what? I'm just going to walk over in that direction because I have a good feeling about this direction. It might be the bodies littered all over the place. I mean, technically, I'm still over here. Porta potty's a little busted. Crow feathers for fletching, just in case we need it. Fletching keeps the arrow from wobbling in midair. That's all that it's good for. I'm going to wait till this weed whacker goes away. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. There's nothing really, like, inside that place over there. It was actually kind of empty. So for right now, it's a little bit gusty outside. I was a little bit worried about it because it looked like a storm was going to come in for just a couple minutes. But I think we're going to be all right. I think we're going to be all right. And if we can make it off to the hunter's cabin before nightfall, I think that would be a pretty good place for us to rest our sojourns. So, or our sojourning. Can you sojourn like that? Is it conjugate like that? Who even knows? Sojourn, sojourn, sojourning. Meh. I'm confused and I don't care anymore. It's time for us to find... I think I made a turn over there. And I can't recall... It's not on this... No, it is on this mountain right here. There it is. So I just got to find the little path. There should be a path back up in here that'll have like a logging camp or whatever. You get good at navigating in this game after a while. You'll figure it out. I mean, it is what it is. So like every single time I start recording, the guy turns the weed whacker on. So I figure I'm just going to go for it and finish the episode with the weed whacker in the background. I seriously stopped for like 20 minutes, and then he stopped, and I waited like 10 minutes, and then the second I started recording, he went up again, and so I stopped for like another 10 minutes, and then he stopped, and so I started, and then he started right after. I think he's just standing outside messing with me right now. Like, I'm almost 90% sure he's just like messing with me. Like, it's a confusing situation. Nobody teaches you how to react to this stimuli, like guy trolling you with weed whacker outside your window. Either way, it's my fault for trying to do anything on a Wednesday. Let's see here. We'll grab the crow feathers. We'll grab that right there. How chill would that be, though? Just get to, like, hang out for a little while. Leaf blow. Like, wah, all day long. I figure eventually he'll go away, but who even knows anymore? Who even knows? Like, seriously, this has been one of the most frustrating experiences of my week. Don't even know how to talk about it anymore. Just like, you know, he could just stop weed whacking, but he just doesn't. He just stands outside. I don't know what's outside my window that needs whacking so badly or leaf blowing so badly, but apparently there are a shit ton of leaves right outside my window. It's impossible to tell. It's impossible to tell. And what's weird is there's no trees around here. So what is he blowing? Who even knows? Who even knows? Either way, we're going to make our way back up to the Hunter's Lodge up here, but we got to be careful about it because I think our stamina's a little bit low. Yeah, our stamina's actually pretty bad. We may want to get on that. There's a backpack laying against the fence over there, but I'm going to get it on the way down. I think part of it's due to the fact that we're overweight right now. Worst case scenario, I think we can make it up the hill before anything else goes wrong. I don't think you can die of exhaustion in this game. I think you just black out or something, which is probably bad considering you're outdoors, but I don't know if it'll kill you like instantly. We still have a long walk in front of us, though, so I'm hoping we pull this thing together. We don't have any caffeine pills or anything like that. I'd use the coffee right now, except that I already used it because I wanted to see if it made your thirst come back. Although, in my experience, doesn't coffee, like, make you have, like, the shits or whatever and, like, totally drains you, too? I thought coffee was bad for you in terms of dehydration. Like, it's good for you in terms of morale, but it's bad for you in terms of, like, keeping water inside yourself. Because I do hear people complain about coffee shits a lot. I don't drink coffee, so I wouldn't know. I can't stomach it. This stuff's gross. I've tried I've tried a number of times to drink coffee, and like I can drink it in sort of like a hard liquor, like I'm working my way through this so that I can be drunk kind of way, but not feeling it. Not feeling it most of the time. Inside the building we go. We might get lucky and find a gun in here. I can't promise that it's going to work like that, but I hope it does. And there's no surcharge for hoping, so that's pretty good. It won't hurt your pocketbook at all. Why do you need so many stairs up here? Is it just to watch for wildfires? Is that all this is for? Is looking for outdoor fires? Who even knows? Weed whacker guy's back. All right. I'm going to end the episode here. See you later. Long dark, everybody.